Hey, welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Dmitry. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining why insurance deductible is a big deal. I know it's not a very popular topic. If you're the homeowner, please watch this video to understand. Maybe you have a contractor you're working with who is asking you to cover deductible. Maybe you're the homeowner who wants that contractor to cover deductible, save some money. I want to explain to you what happens when homeowners pay deductible, what happens when they don't pay deductible, why for so many contractors out there it's white and black and they're like, nope, there's no other way, that's the only way we do it. In some states it's illegal, some states didn't pass legislation yet, but I want to explain what it does to the industry, why it's a big deal, because it's not a small thing, it's really big, it's a game changer, it affects everybody, and I want to explain in detail what it is. The difference between not paying deductible and paying deductible is not your one simple line. I call it really big, thick line, huge difference what happens to you. If you're the business owner, please watch it. Maybe it'll help you make a decision in your business to stop covering deductibles as well. I do recognize the problem. I do understand both sides. We actually have roofing business of our own. A lot of our competition do cover deductibles. We have this conversation with the homeowners all the time, and we have never covered deductible in 6 years. Last year we collected about $170,000 in deductibles. Here's why I understand deductible, and I want you to understand this is the line between 1 and 2 and kind of few factors that contributes. According to CNBC, in 2018, only 39% of population in the United States could afford $1,000. So I don't blame homeowners who have a hail damage, storm damage, hurricane damage, who don't have money. I mean, when you're at other part of this, when you're 61% of people who cannot write $1,000 check, I mean, it's sad, I feel bad for you, but doing it wrong way, it doesn't make it right. I mean, I can justify it on a moral level, I can sympathize you not having money, but it still doesn't make it right, but it definitely contributes to this big problem. So what's insurance deductible is? When insurance company gives you an estimate how much your premium is gonna be, they're gonna ask you a question, how much can you pay in case of a claim? And the more you pay, the less the premiums are. The less you pay, the higher the premiums. So some people have money, no problem. They put $10,000 deductible. They know they can cover it, no problem. Some people have $2,500 average, I would say about $1,000. If you live somewhere in Florida, it's percentage of your home. So it can be, I've seen deductibles $5,000, $6,000, $10,000. I mean, pretty big ones, right? Insurance calculates all of that. So they know the area you live, the risk they have, how many hail events, how many storm events, how many hurricane events, they know it, and they calculate their risk. And they know in case of event, they know their payouts. So their estimate, and they use software that most roofers, most construction companies use, they call Xactimate. So they know when they're gonna calculate, part of that estimate will be deductible. So here's what's happening. Insurance company is knowing, I mean, they're the biggest fraudster in the industry, and I'm sorry to break it down like that. I can prove it and I can say it again and again and again. Insurance companies commit more fraud than anybody else in the construction industry. They do it daily, they do it systematically, and average increase of insurance initial claims is about 30-40%. That's what homeowners don't know. That's what people rarely talk about on YouTube, on Facebook, because nobody wants to fight billion-dollar companies. But this is regular numbers. So like, for example, we live in Minneapolis and we just have a couple hail events. And what's happening when you have a hail events, insurance company sends adjusters. Those adjusters are trained to save their insurance company money. So if you watch movies from 60s and 70s and 80s about underdogs, lawyers, going and suing insurance companies, you know, in the medical field and a whole bunch of different fields, insurance never voluntarily agrees right away. Oh, something happened, you hurt yourself, boom, we're gonna pay, you know, premium dollars for you to get well, to restore your body, if it's health insurance, to restore your car, to restore your house. They usually try to save money and they give you estimate, they pretty much lowball you, right? And the problem with the insurance industry in construction field is a little bit different than with the cars. In the cars and special medical happens the same thing. They usually settle for less. So hospitals usually settle, I've heard about 70-80% of the hospital what wants to get paid, they never get full amount. I know a lot of friends who do supplements for hospitals. When you talk about cars and fixing cars, it takes place too, but in the home industry you have a lot of guys who is willing to do it for less. So it works like this. So let's say you have $10,000 job, and I'll give you actual example. I have my father-in-law just got hit with a hail damage recently. So insurance company comes out, if he writes $10,000 estimate, it's supposed to be $13,000. And here's how it works in real life. I actually met a adjuster. The guy was from Texas, great guy. Again, trained to save insurance company money. So we're in Minneapolis. He knows it. He knows the codes. He knows that every house gets ice and water barrier, you know, all the accessories, right? So he writes estimate. In that case, it actually was $9K and ended up being $13K later. And I asked him during the estimate, I'm like, dude, why are you doing this? Why it's only $9,000? Why ice and water is missing? He's like, oh, I just missed it. Just add it. We'll pay it later. And I'm like, are you for real? Like that one item, ice and water barrier, it's $1,000. He literally, I mean, he's trained. It's his full-time job to look at the roof, to write down, 10-page estimate, so nothing is missed, and he's missing it. The question for you, and let me know in comments below, is it a fraud when insurance adjuster knowingly forgets or misses items, or he's committing fraud? And if you're talking about army of those adjusters who's doing it every single day, think about those army of adjusters comes to the area, and if all of them miss one item, it's like $1,000 and they open 1,000 claims. That's how insurance company adds millions. The biggest problem though is this. Look at this, another number. 90% of construction businesses fail under 2 years. Let me explain how it works. That adjuster that wrote $9,000 or $10,000 claim, he knows really well there's a lot of people on the market who actually will do the job for that money. I'll tell you even more. Not only they will do the job for that, but they're also gonna do the job even less than that. They actually will eat deductible. Why is this happening? Well, those guys usually are here. And this is just numbers. I always say, guys, numbers don't lie. People who eat deductible and people who don't charge enough for their work, who work for bare minimum wages because they're desperate, they don't know how to market themselves. Maybe it's his side job, maybe he works for another company. For one, there's no way they can be successful in the long term. And this is the best part of the video. Here's what's happening. Here's how eating deductible affects everyone and affects this fail rate. This is the worst number of all. This is the most concerning number. So insurance company already, shorting us, and then homeowners saying we cannot pay. So now what's happening? Roofers working for bare minimums and they fail. So what happens with all of those scenarios? So let me guide you. So if you do pay deductible, you're doing it right, you're gonna get a good warranty because, like I said, my company, we collected over $170,000 in 1 year. Think about this, $170,000. It's a lot of profit, right? What can a business owner do with $170,000? He can buy insurance, he can take care of employees, he can do good things for the business to help him survive, not to be in a 90% failure rate, right? So we've been in business for 6 years. We're gonna be here for another 10 years, not planning to go nowhere, have no plan Bs. We're all here working hard. If you call us, 5 years later, something went wrong, we're gonna come back. You're doing it right, you do good warranty because you're investing in a good company who are actually planning to stay in the business. It's a good practice, it's just freaking the right thing to do. It helps both industries. It actually helps insurance industry and it helps construction industry. Why is it helping everybody? Because insurance industries, their premium is going to be right. People not going to pay more in insurance. What's happening is everything balances in life. When everybody's not paying deductibles, insurance sooner or later will start charging more. Somebody sooner or later will pick up the tab. And you guys know it. It happens in every area of our lives. So it helps both industries. You're following your ethics. Like when you do something right, you're actually gonna sleep really well that night. If you do it, you're obeying the law. Like state of Minnesota, it's illegal. Contractor can get, I think it's like $4,000 fine. We're actually supposed to have it in our agreements, and contractors can get very creative how to kind of go in and give it away, but I call white, black, what it is, white and black. This is white, this is black. There's no gray line. I mean, I don't care if you say, well, I'll put a yard sign and it's advertising fee and you don't have to pay $1,000. Guys, I've heard it all. The thing about it is, if you're the business owner, I'm telling you this, you're not going to be losing jobs. As a matter of fact, you can win quite a few, because when people call us and they ask us, do you waive deductibles? Do you pay my deductible? We say, no, sir, we don't. As a matter of fact, I even did radio advertising that we don't do it.
Storm Group Roofing's owner, Dmitry doesn't believe in door knocking to get your business. No, they will handle your claim the right way with no illegal deductible waiving like some companies offer if you put their sign in your yard.
And people call us and say, Dmitry, every single person who knocked on my door, it was last year's storm. They said they offered to pay deductible. The only reason I called you is because I've heard your radio ad and you didn't do it, and this is why I called you. Guys, business owners, I'm telling you, like, there's two sides to every story. You're obeying the law, and it's for all parties. You guys are covered. If you ever get audited, if insurance company ever start investigating the fraud, you homeowner gets in trouble, contractor gets in trouble. I mean, it's just not good for you. So let me draw a picture of you. What happens when you don't pay deductible? If you're the business owner, please pay close attention. I have very different philosophy, very different explanation how it affects your business, and if you're the homeowner, how it affects you. So a lot of people are saying that when you cover deductible, when a roofer pretty much eats deductible, they're going to cut corners. They're going to install cheaper materials. Labor is not going to be as good. Simply not always the case. You actually can get really good job, really good roof, and I've seen a lot of good roofs when roofers have been really good roofers. They follow the procedure, they follow manufacturer specifications, so you still can get a good roof. The problem is not there. The bigger problem is it's a very poor business decision. The biggest problem is here. This is your deductible problem. This is your deductible problem. Ask yourself, if that business is forgiving me $1,000 and he's doing it every day, like, because we usually do one roof a day, and he does it for every single job. So this week he just ate $5,000. Next week $5,000. What's happening, guys, is businesses who don't charge enough, and I see it all the time, I teach roofing class because of that. They don't have money to cover their first or second work comp audit. They don't have anything for emergency, for business emergency. When something bad happens, they never cover it. Why? You just waived $1,000 on each job, each day you've been working this week. What do you think is going to happen? Yes, you might be good roofer, but you're making really poor business decision and you're bad business owner. It's also questionable integrity. I see it all the time. You know, nice people, hardworking guys, but they're like, we don't really need it. And I get it, because there's two types of contractors, and the homeowners. Ask yourself a question: who is the guy in front of you? So you have a solid company who has an office, has employees, actually invest back in the company, has insurances, covers employees, you know, pays taxes, all of it. And you have what's called paper contractor, somebody who works out of his garage, signs contracts with you, gives a work order to his sub. I mean, I understand how that guy might not need $1,000, but you're still supposed to pay it. But if you do pay it, are you really covered? That's the question. Deductible goes towards business, and you have to ask yourself, like, for me, when I charge deductible, it doesn't go to my pocket. It's not extra bonus. It's not my, you know, vacation. It's a business money, and it belongs to business money. It's just like overhead and profit and Exactimate, and we'll talk about that in the next video. So it's very questionable integrity. Like, if you're the business offering, how do you go around it? It's like, oh, let's just not do it. We can do it for less, and we'll give you a bigger invoice. Maybe, by the way, it's a fraud, right? So it's a higher risk for all parties. Business is at risk to lose everything. They're not charging enough. Homeowner is at risk to get 20-year warranty with a company who's going to be in the business, you know, 2 years. And then if insurance investigates that fraud, or your state does it, or if you have a bad job, you didn't pay deductible, you didn't do what's right, and now you have a major complaint with the roofer. Good luck to you. I'm telling you, screwed, right? So it's pretty much open fraud. So you guys gonna have warranty issues, and pretty much no one's covered. Business risking it, homeowners risking it. The question for you, why risk it, right? Like I said, guys, the line is not fine line, it's very thick line. It affects everybody. It affects the industry. We should be talking about it. A lot of states already took extra step of doing it. Contractors, if you're just being creative and you're trying to find a way how to waive it but not really waiving it, like in a form of kickbacks, I mean, think about your business. Like, for example, I have guys coming to us in stormproofing. It's pretty big business. I mean, we're not huge, we're like good mid-size company, and we have a lot of offers, work under the table, and sales guys from out of state comes in often and offers us to sell under our name, and we always turn it down. In the past, you know, we work with some out of state sales guys, so we're actually hiring. If you're good integrity roofer, you can work for us, no problem. But one of the main reasons I turn down a lot of guys, they call it easy money. They're like, why wouldn't you, what's $1,000? You're getting $30,000 claim. Guys, I've been in this business for 6 years now, and I've seen so many big, like, you're talking about $25 to $40 million Ponzi schemes. If you take away their sales that's coming in today, they're gonna collapse. Sales, I say it all the time, don't fix everything. When you start cutting corners, and by the way, they're cutting corners that don't happen on the roofs. Cutting corners happens in business. When business, not charging for stuff they're doing, not collecting money due to them. I mean, we're already under huge pressure with insurance company. This is already huge battle for us. Insurance companies trying to kill us, crush us. They denying the claims. We're waiting for monies for 3-4 months. This is another big contributions to our failure. But on top of that, deductible that homeowner is supposed to pay. So if you're the homeowner watches it, maybe I understand that you don't have money. If you're that 61% that cannot come up with $1,000, I mean, financing, come up with something. You're getting literally full job, sometimes $30,000-$40,000 for price of small deductible. I mean, enjoy it. Maybe finance and maybe sell something. Do it right. You're gonna enjoy your house, the value gonna go up. Hire a good trusted company that you trust, read the reviews, and make sure they're local and they're gonna be there for years to come. I guarantee you, you will be a happier person, you will sleep better. This is my message to you. This is how I look at deductibles. It's something that we need to talk a lot about. Let me know what you guys think in comments below. If you don't agree with me, totally fine. You're not gonna offend me. If you have arguments towards covering deductible or not paying deductible, I want to hear from you. Let me know what your argument is, and let's start the conversation. I read all my comments, and I promise you I'll get back to you right away because I want to talk about it. We need it. It affects us all, not just you the homeowner, you the contractor. Let's be done with it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this type of content, there's more of it gonna coming up in the near future. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that ring so you don't miss our videos. Would like to have you back. See you guys soon.